A tela é horrorosa e assim, às vezes melhor que a Loud ainda. Calma, gang.
Here they're going to prioritize it here for first pick. But
Eu
there's
sei
a
que eu
lot
tô
open
falando,
and
mano.
available right now. Of course, the Rakan, the Alistair, both the Xayah, the Kai'Sa. So on red side here, yeah, you gave the Orianna, but you get 2 picks that you could prioritize now as WEIBO Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. I was taking a look actually at Hansama solo queue as well, so I'm kind of glad that we saw these 2 bans just to see what else he might play. A lot of Draven, a lot of Kalista, obviously, but even some Nila, some Kai'Sa thrown in there. Also the Senna once. So let's see what he eventually does.
Eu confio muito no que eu tô falando, mano. Eu confio muito no que eu tô falando. Vamos lá. Bud Pop. Será que esse Bud Pop era pra FP Kalista? Faz sentido, né? Faz bastante sentido o Bud Pop no Blue Side pra FP Kalista. Deixa eu mudar aqui. Aí, baniram o Maokai, baniu o Rumble, baniu o Kalista, baniu o Jarvan, baniu o Draven. Deixa eu contar os bans aqui só. Mano, eu coloquei o Rumble, eu errei. O Rumble não vai ter mais ban que a Kalista, mano. A Kalista vai ser permaban até o fim desse camp, velho. Merda, mano. Duvido que alguém botou Kalista ou Maokai, velho. E eu botei a Orianna como o mais picado. Vai ser AD, velho. Quase sempre AD.
But for now, as you mentioned, on the side of WEIBO Gaming.
E lembrando, né, mano, no play-in os times não estavam pegando Orianna, não estavam pegando Jarvan, não estavam pegando Kalista. Observação. Mano, eu não sei se a T1 passa pro main event, pro playoff não, tá? Perguntaram qual time ia chocar, eu acho que é a T1 coreano. DK, mano, DK vai ser doideira. Vai ser doideira. Porque, mano, ó, eu vou falar pra vocês. Eu vejo a Cloud9 ninguém da T1 hoje, tá? Anotem o que eu tô falando. Pode anotar. Me cobrem depois. Não quer dizer que, tipo, vai ganhar. Mas eu consigo ver. E se jogarem contra, vai ser um jogo muito pegado, velho.
Rollmates doesn't have a lot of escapability, so maybe trying to shut it down with some hard engage here. The Vi and the Kai'Sa is being hovered right now.
Vai blind de novo. Eu achei que vai podia ser jogada mesmo.
For light, and it will get locked in. Azir hover might be a little bit indicative of what we might see in that 3rd slot, but you definitely don't need to get it on R1, R2, just simply because they've already locked in the mid.
Aqui não é Zé Rakan, não?
For the side, they'll give it.
You know, just consider more if they had a GT.
Eles deixaram Zé Rakan assim?
Followed it up with Rakan.
Now, you will lose the Alistair here as WEIBO if you decide to lock in Xiaohu's Azir, but the expectation is that that pick is just so high prior right now, so valuable. And Xiaohu's a fantastic Azir player, so he is going to look to lock it in, his most played here in the LPL. And, I mean, you know you're going to lose the Alistair, but there's still some viable supports left over here you can play in this composition. Let's see if G2 are going to put that focus on Crisp here in the second part of the draft, or if they want to give Broken Blade here a little bit more power, try to focus away off to pull off.
Will they target that top lane?
Aqui vai banir o que, mano? O que eles querem pegar aqui? Aqui pegar primeiro, já começaram a banir top. Banir o Renekton, o que eles querem blindar aqui? Tem Rumble, não, Rumble tá banido.
Here from Broken Blade first, and with this composition,
baniram Nautilus, aqui bane suporte, Nautilus Alistar, né?
Confront to back, Lee Sin with the from comes to take
that chance and not just leave the Jax to go over.
E aí, aqui é jungle, né?
Over to WEIBO Gaming here. Let's see if they do go with another pick for that top side, or if they want to wait for counter pick. See with Jax off the board, they're going to pick that one up.
Mickey, you know, you never know what you're going to see here in terms of his champion. He's already locked in the Rakan. I got scared there for a second. And these hovers, don't talk about the hovers, Wolf. Don't talk about the hovers.
Ioni
I'm not entirely sure what Hansama is trying to say with these, but see what we're going to see for Broken Blade here. Obviously has the counter pick.
Acertei!
The Yone Rel left up, and the Yone comes out here for Broken Blade. This one already just got a lot more interesting.
I mean, this is positions to be players as well. And here the Leona G2 has a composition that can combo you in any fight. It's extremely simple. If you've got set live team fights, whereas on the other side, WEIBO have great disengage with this Alistair. They have a little bit of peel with the Leona side lane. This on in the gaming fighting. It's going to be when it comes to late Valdez.
Oh, it's going to be a banger. You just know from the second game. Sixth one of the day.
G2
up against WEIBO Gaming to see which next team is going to end up 2-0 on the day.
Tá, o Zé Rakan vai puxar bot. O Ione puxa top. E mid, mano, tem que ver como essa lane vai ser jogada, mas eu acho que o Azir vai puxar, velho. Com essa runa eu acho que ele puxa. Com essa runa ele dá um auto-ataque na Orianna, ele pega o attack speed e bate nos minions.
Like we saw from Gen G just moments before.
And just be in good position for the future. As we do take a look at some of the runes, we do have Hail of Blades there for the Azir in mid lane here for Xiaohu. Might be looking to take some quick trades early on. We'll see how much that affects this early game, especially against this Orianna that has been kind of taking some big wins in the solo 1v1 matchup so far.
Broken Blade going to come over here and look to disrupt Weiwei here on his red buff start.
O Broken Blade foi...
down substantially.
Tá, peraí, então o Broken Blade não vai puxar top. Por que ele fez isso, mano? Eles queriam muito a info de onde o cara vai começar, será?
In general, I mean, WEIBO has been such a immense force in these early games, and just trying to get a read on exactly where he's starting is going to be good. Now, we'll have to wait and see how much this affects this top lane, as Broken Blade is already getting bullied a bit here by the Shy on this Cassante, which has been a big success pick so far here at Worlds. But Broken Blade pulling out the top Yone. This is something we don't see too often.
No, certainly not. Punished a little bit here by the Shy because obviously Weiwei transfers that information over.
Level 1 here on the bottom side for Hansama. They're just
Cara, eles perdem esse bot?
Immense. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea. Just in general, I mean, WEIBO has been such a immense force in these early games, and just trying to get a read on exactly where he's starting is going to be good. Now, we'll have to wait and see how much this affects this top lane, as Broken Blade is already getting bullied a bit here by the Shy.
Pegou level 2 primeiro porque ganhou o Bush, então.
Success pick so far here at Worlds. But Broken Blade pulling out the top Yone. This is something we don't see too often.
No, certainly not. Punished a little bit here by the Shy because obviously Weiwei transfers that information over.
Level 1 here on the bottom side for Hansama. They're just going to have to back away. Big trade for the side of WEIBO Gaming's bottom lane. Just, he's got a biscuit. He'll be okay. But,
be okay.
Gotta respect that level 2.
Yeah. And I was just going to mention, you know, on the top side, the Shy looking to punish Broken Blade.
Nossa, ele passou pelas duas wards, mano. Pô, esse Ike ele é muito inteligente, velho. Eu acho bizarro os bagulhos que ele faz, mano.
This could be a problem. He's going to be spotted. Mickey X going in pretty early on. Does get the flash and the ghost out of light, so still a big win here for G2 on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, not much Weiwei can do about this right now either. He's going to come over here, see Ike on this blue buff. We're going to have a little bit of a smite fight.
Just a little bit of a head-to-head. We have it in the mid lane as well, as that one is going to go over to Weiwei, and now we have a turn from the bottom lane here from WEIBO Gaming. Gets the flash out of Yike. And Mickey X is going to walk this one out as well.
Tempo no bot.
A lot of action
Quem
here.
pegou o campo? Foi a vai mesmo, né? Ele tá bem atrás e perdeu o flash,
Nobody dies here, but constant pressure everywhere. I mean, starting with Broken Blade, now he's proxying the minion wave here away from the Shy. He harassed Weiwei. Then we see a fight over the blue buff, some rotations over from Weibo's bottom lane. Nobody dies, but a lot of pressure exchanged here. But Weiwei is going to come out on top here in terms of the farm with how many resources Yike committed there.
Yike coming in here, level 3. That's generally the sweet spot for Jungle Rel. And now with the Hex Flash, trying to get it going onto Xiao, who will just be able to shuffle away.
Nossa, vai farmar, porra.
Just barely out of range was Yike.
Yeah, you mentioned the trade that Caps was looking for earlier. He has the Airy versus the Hail of Blade. Xiao ends up getting a lot more damage done in that scuffle earlier, trying to relieve that pressure as Weiwei, meanwhile, going to continue to further his farm lead right now, is going to take these Raptors away with some of that mid-prio. Mid-prio is so important here in the Swiss stage so far. You can get so many incremental advantages from this, and Yike, unaware, will be scouted out here by Mickey.
Well,
too late.
Yeah, Mickey's, you know, he's just going to say
hello.
Sofrendo
essa lane, hein?
Caps. Yeah, Caps just take a big chunk from Xiaohu, but he will be okay. Still holding on to the teleport. Probably just going to clear this one back away and get back into lane.
Sofrendo, mas também CS,
out on the map. This has been very critical for many different regions. We see this a lot in the LCK as well. Just big time roaming supports, level 3, level 4. already Mickey is trying to make his presence known.
Quem ganha essa matchup no mid? Cara, eu achava que era Oriana, mas o pessoal tá pegando essa runa aqui pro Azir. E eu tô vendo eles têm uma taxa de sucesso boa nessa lane, velho.
Of course, returning to lane now as Xiaohu's going to crash this wave, and Caps is not backed just yet. Has a Doran's ring, so can hold on to a little bit more mana here, clear that additional wave as best as he can, and he and Yike can have those backs synced up. Top side here, level 6, very close. You see they're getting closer to hitting that one right now. Broken Blade has an advantage here. Weiwei on the top side of the map with that back for Yike. See if any action happens there. It looks like it is.
Yeah, a bit of action. You know, Yone putting his face into the enemy, as he generally does. Broken Blade, I think if you're going to pick this pick, generally you want to be doing stuff with it. You don't want to just sit back and farm. So, like to see how proactive he is being in that top lane.
Oriana deve voltar de Lost Chapter também.
That's the first one to hit level 6. Broken Blade following up right behind him.
Yeah, Xiaohu will be hitting his as well right now as he returns to lane. Level 6 here, tough to hit against the Shy, but wants to potentially pull Weiwei out of the jungle, get some additional information about where that Vi is. As, you know, the level 6 timing for Yone into a Cassante is not an all-in timing, but level 6 very
essa é a vantagem de ter o controle da lane da UB primeiro, tá vendo? Olha o que o Xiaohu fez. O Xiaohu puxou a próxima wave porque ele chegou primeiro, o Caps tá respondendo a torre, e ele tá tirando o ward. Olha, ele ficou ali, tirou uma pink, cara. Essa pink dele achei ruim, mano, botou a pink muito avançada.
Even a roam here, potentially, as he is going to hide that he's here, coming down now. Xiaohu has shuffled, though.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to take a moment to present our featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz in the top lane. Broken Blade versus the Shy. Obviously, two big names in the scene for quite a while now, and just getting even spicier, I think, with some of the picks.
Vocês estão vendo? A lane começou ruim, o Yike givou pra caralho, ajudou o bot virou, mano, totalmente, velho. O controle da lane tá pra G2. E ainda conseguiu avançar de CS.
Very curious to see the Shy back on this one and Broken Blade to see if he can challenge him in this featured matchup on the top side with the Yone.
A lot of posturing around this dragon right now. Xiaohu has level 6, of course, Caps does as well. It's all about positioning here. Those two very impactful mid ultimates here on the first Drake fight. G2 going to start this one up. Chris very well aware of this, and it is just a tug of war battle right now in terms of trying to grab that control. Light very far away though.
It's going to be interesting to see if WEIBO can actually collapse onto this one. Light eventually does make his way, and this is a very slow dragon that is going down right now, and already
eu imaginei, né, mano?
They're going to get that poke on Hansama, and immediately
eu imaginei que isso era uma calmerda.
It is one singular Cloud Drake, but that is the first objective going into the hands of WEIBO Gaming.
And Xiaohu is able to just kind of keep Caps at bay there, and the threat of this Azir shuffle is so great that G2 can't get the positioning they're looking for. Is up here, a bit of a trade once again. The Shy eats a bunch of damage. Broken Blade still holding onto that ultimate.
Yeah, he's looking for it, I think. He got Caps coming up to the top side as well, and immediately going back to the mid lane. So
mano, eu queria falar que esse Dragon vai ser uma merda, mas eu falei, mano, se esse Dragon der certo, eles são gênios. Mas eu imaginei que, mano, tava muito difícil.
Risky business, especially if you don't know where Weiwei is, so they're just gonna let it go.
Yeah. Rift Herald spawning here in 15 seconds, trying to force out the jungler, trying to get some resources there. We knew this top matchup was going to be fire, and we're always on the edge of our seat every time it goes up there. And you see Broken Blade taking one of these aggressive trades. I mean, the Shy still sitting at half health here. As coming up is Weiwei. Yone obviously has his ultimate and flash for escape. Let's see how well he can react here. If Weiwei does commit, he's got flash, he's in range.
Now let's see how this one goes. Yike just getting to work on this Rift Herald, and Weiwei says, well, lane's pushing into Broken Blade. Broken Blade playing this one very respectfully. He lets the wave push into him. I say that, and now he's stepping up straight into the Vi. The combo comes in. Can they take him out? Yes, they can. No flash, no hope for Broken Blade as the Shy and Weiwei put it together. And now with the all-out, the Shy is looking for a little bit more. Now Caps coming on in here, looking to get punished by Weiwei as a huge wobble combo does come out from G2, though. They turn it around, but Xiaohu says no. He will turn it back, but he doesn't get too much damage.
Bagulho rapidão.
O
Caps upou o full W, velho. É que vocês não conseguem ver aqui. Eu achei que ele deu muito dano ali no caçante, olha, upou full W.
We knew this top match.
Vê que ele, eu falei, mano, que dano foi esse dele no caçante, velho. Olha lá. Olha o Weiwei full vida. O caçante metade da vida. Olha o dano que ele vai dar nos dois, upando o W. Que é muita coisa, velho. Mano, mas esse cara...
WEIBO, eyes bigger than their stomach there. You've got the win, you've got... If Weiwei does commit, he's got flat.
And Weiwei says, well, lane that now he's stepping up straight into the Vi. The combo comes in. Can they take him out? Yes, they
A G2 tem muito dedo, né, velho?
looking for a little bit more. Now Caps coming on in here, looking to get punished by Weiwei as a huge wobble combo does come out from G2, though they turn it around. But Xiaohu says no. He will turn it back, but he doesn't get too much damage, and G2 will end up with the win in this fight.
WEIBO, eyes bigger than their stomach there. You've got the win. You've got that pick on the Broken Blade. Set up for a reset there and control around the Herald. They commit too far there and ultimately end up getting turned on. Caps with a very fantastic ultimate there as the engage comes through, and Xiaohu can engage from so far away. He's got Shuffle, he's got Flash, right, and he's got his ultimate, but they don't have enough damage in this early game, and it backfires in a big way. As the dust settles, G2, 1,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, definitely a big win for G2 now. Yikes, still in the river. As Xiaohu flashless could look for something on the top side, but it doesn't look like they want that. G2, they're going to be the ones that settle it down. They're going to be the ones that get that early lead, and they say, hey, there's a free Rift Herald right here. We can just take it. As you were saying, Wolf, maybe Weibo could have looked that direction as well, but instead, G2 going to end up in the lead with a couple of nice plays.
Yeah, just a little bit of
Caralho, o farm do
will
bot,
backfire.
mano.
The initial play around that control ward was so smart. As the Shy drops a ward and sees the bad news, they, of course, do not have control of the scuttle, so that's the only idea he is going to have to confirm that is being taken. We'll see it before his very eyes, and we'll just return to lane. So objective goes over to G2 on top of the now 1,200 gold lead they have, sitting very pretty in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if they can continue with this prep.
Mano, se o Worlds não fosse pra China ou pra Coreia esse ano, seria muito bom pro cenário de LoL, velho. Muito mesmo.
Just 1,000 gold lead, but with the Rift
Nossa,
Herald
G2
in
é boa,
their
velho.
hands, might look to extend it even further. This bottom lane going very well for G2.
Lembrando que o Broken
We
Blade é
haven't seen
turco,
too
né?
much action down here, but still 22 CS in the lead is Hansama right now, and
Ele
on
é
that
turco,
side,
né?
you know he's going to be looking to scale up just a bit.
How did you feel about this one, EU representative Vedius, who suddenly appears?
Wait,
I don't know if my...
where did you come from?
I don't
Eu
know
sei
if
que
my
ele
mic is
jogava
on
ele
yet. Can you
começou
hear
a jogar
me?
na
I can hear you.
Turquia.
Excellent, great. Yeah, so let's break this replay down because, oh, what an immaculate play here from Caps. We
E ele
saw
veio de
Broken
Minor
Blade getting
Region, e ele
attacked
veio de
by
Minor
two
Region.
members of WEIBO. Really great gang setup on the top side. Xiaohu with what looked like a great flank, but I think it overforced Weiwei, giving G2 the opportunity to turn things around. Now they find themselves with a pretty healthy gold lead, and the moment that G2 are in a gold lead, I saw this as an opportunity to get involved in the cast. So welcome, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to cast with you both.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you up here. You're our G2 person, and every time G2 starts to win in a matchup, that people are a little bit nervous about you appearing. Here we go, another fight.
Vedius just appears right at the right time. G2 are winning, Vedius is here, and now G2 is here in the bottom side. Crisp is just gone as G2...
Mano, eles são clean,
Now they
velho.
find a great flank, but I think healthy gold lead.
É isso, mano.
The moment
Os
that
caras
G2 are in
acabaram
a
de fazer
gold
a
lead,
play,
Excited to
foram
have you
lá.
up here. You're our G2 person, and every time G2 starts to
Já
win in a
daivaram.
matchup that people are a little bit nervous about, you appear, and here we go, another fight.
Vedius just appears right at the right time. G2 are winning, Vedius is here, and now G2 is here in the bottom side. Crisp is just
Oh, e aí que
gone
tancou a
as
torre
G2
pra
dive
eles.
and pick up the easy pickings underneath this turret. WEIBO Gaming
Baixa pouco
trying
o
to get
volume.
something up on the top side with some pressure, but G2 another big proactive play.
G2 just continuing to put the pressure on here, one small tempo advantage, and they're starting to take more and more off of the map, grabbing plates here bottom side, grabbing Crisp, and that gold lead is exploding now.
Caralho,
Still
velho.
1,500, but look at the CS difference here between Hansama and Light.
Aquele game deles é muito bom, mano.
Come online.
Yeah, I mean, G2 doing a great job so far of finding these small advantages. Of course, it's not ballooned anything into anything too extreme.
Baixo, se
Dragon's won in
decidam.
10 seconds. A lot of resets coming through from them, meaning that the next objective that they're likely looking to contest is this dragon. But you can already see WEIBO back on the map, ready to set up that vision. Xiaohu with the push in mids. Caps does, of course, have the teleport. One CS off that level 10.
Mano, o early game da G2 será o melhor do mundo, mano? Eu acho que é, tá? Hoje. Mano, o Yike é muito bom, velho. É bizarro. Onde eles acharam esse moleque, velho?
Who's going to win out in this one? Broken Blade has to go back, and meanwhile, that dragon you guys were talking about is going into the hands of WEIBO Gaming down on the bottom side.
The Shy does have teleport, of course, if they want to hard commit to this fight. He can just back and teleport, but it's going to come at the cost of some plate gold here. Does pick up some items. This is going to come up here to the top side to defend plates, but this is going to cost them a lot.
Ele jogava na França no time da Lion. Cara, ele foi deu Masters direto pra LEC. Mano, ele começou a jogar Season 11 competitivo. Tá de sacanagem. Caralho, mano. You're
starting to look for these outer towers. You can see G2 with Yike mainly focusing his attention towards the bot side of the map.
Ele deve ter feito alguma coisa muito bom para chamar a atenção do G2, mano.
Unlock that bot lane and maybe even move them top, move them mid. If an opportunity arises to get more plates, those will be falling off within the next minute. Caps with his TP in mid, maybe uses that pressure to then rotate down towards the bot side. They've kind of abandoned top at this point, but they know that Broken Blade is just going to continue to pick up farm and be this kind of split push threat later on. Domestically, we often saw him go
Esse Yone não se pagou ainda.
Split pushing identity.
Hansama, ult.
Caught out a bit here. He's stunned nearly 100 to 0. Finally goes into the Featherstorm. He's still alive and he goes to the push.
Puta Hansama. Não, isso é um Isso é uma sacanagem tomar essa ult de Zaya de ult up, mano.
175 gold here on the plates that are falling off. You just mentioned Vedius, but this does take a lot of the wind out of the sails here of G2, and you can understand the play here. Hansama, he is Zaya, he has flash, he has ultimate. He's got neither now, and it is in the death chamber because he overextends into this very aggressive Crisp.
Really nice ult from Crisp. Caught Hansama completely unawares, doesn't have the cleanse available. He should have just ulted that out of respect, but with Weiwei in the area, the fact that he was able to survive this long is very surprising. Mickey with a really good 3-man charm, but it's not quite enough. The flash commit from Weibo, they find themselves 2 kills.
Yeah, Mickey here just kind of an additional casualty as well. Double goes over to the Kai'Sa. That lethality build has so much damage, and it's going to get
Mano, o Broken Blade tá tomando muita pressão pro arrombado tomar essa ult no bot, velho.
And Weibo are looking to take out this top side turret. You can see the Shy, currently the biggest lead they hold, and the MasterCard lane economy snapshot.
Yeah, pretty interesting to see that even after that duo kill down on the bottom side. G2's bottom lane have just gotten too many advantages earlier on, besides, you know, going down eventually to light, that they're just ahead. They take down that full turret down there, and they're going to be feeling pretty good about their chances moving into the mid-game.
I mean, it's important to remember that that gold lead is a little deceptive, given that 700 of it is sitting on Mickey. But still, as you rightly said, G2 find themselves with a small gold lead for now. As we enter the mid-game, we're looking at this next Rift Herald spawning. This is going to be really important for breaking open this mid-tier 1. Both Orianna and Azir, very difficult champions to siege against. And when you kind of look at the AD carries, they don't have the longest range. They have to get quite up close and personal to take those towers down. So Herald is going to be really important to unlock the mid lane and then unlock the enemy jungle to really start being more proactive on the map.
And in order to win this Rift Herald fight, I think G2 need to group here quickly as fast as they can to set up for those combos.
Qual que é o próximo objetivo? Dragon em 50? Dá pra lutar, mano. O Caps tá muito forte. É até bizarro ele comprar essas zonas aí.
As right now, Vision going in favor of G2 here as well with that control ward. This Rift Herald fight is going to be so difficult for Weibo to break through since they don't currently have Cryo there.
Yeah, a bit of vision here in the pit for now. Yike gonna get this one started, but immediately Crisp and the Shy looking to collapse. Yike in a little bit of trouble. He has to flash the ult even with the teleport behind him, so immediately just evacuating out of there as fast as he possibly could.
Really nice play from Weibo. Their collapse was so fast.
O Caps vai rodar, mano. Eu acho que ele já chega muito atrasado, velho. Eles deviam... Ah, ele já ter ficado bot, mano.
They have to walk through so much vision. The map is very dark, but Yike and Mickey will lead the way.
They want this Herald so badly. It looks like they're going to try to commit anyways. Caps in position for an ult, but he's not going to commit.
The Cassante, yeah. So they're just going to take this mid-tier 1 instead in the trade of this one. So
horrível que a G2 fez aqui.
Weibo able to rotate on over, and now they barely find Caps. He's going to get combo now. Shy in a little bit of trouble here as the One's on top of him, and he's just dragged
Caralho, mas deixar ele não morre, velho.
And the Shy does go down here, fairly tanky, but not tanky enough to look for that much aggression. Great flash there from Caps, reacts quickly. But I think the bigger story here is that the Herald does go over to WEIBO Gaming. They couldn't crack that mid turret in trade, which is essentially, as you were mentioning, Vedius, what they wanted to do with the Herald in the first place. So yes, a small casualty here for the Shy, but I loved how WEIBO Gaming wrapped around the backside, completely avoided going to the choke point where G2 was set up, and now the ball is in their court.
This felt very much like a classic The Shy play. You kind of look at the map and Weiwei saying, hey, can we look for something here? He started walking away. Xiaohu is literally going top, and The Shy's like, I'm making a play, guys. The rest of WEIBO weren't really on the same page. They couldn't really offer much assistance, and he ends up giving his life.
Yeah, the Cassante power.
Vão perder Herald de Dragon? Não.
Aggressive sometimes, as now he's basically doing it again. He's in the front, but he's just gonna go down for free.
Caralho, é ult da Leona.
Will they even do so? Yes, they will. The smite comes in, but G2, they're looking for more. Mickey on the engage. He does find Crisp, and that will be 2 kills into the hands of G2 in trade for the Dragon.
If you want to put a positive spin on it, the Shy dies in mid. They save the turret. The Shy dies around Drake. They are able to secure the Drake, which is sole point here for Mountain, which is going to be
mano, o Deixai agora fez cosplay de robô, mano. Se matou pro time pegar objetivo. 2 mortes por um Dragon Herald. Caraca, como é que o Xiaohu foi para isso?
Let's see if he can. Yes, he will. No assist even there for Caps. So Mickey with a nice little solo kill.
Yeah, that gold advance is just ballooning for Mickey right now. The support gap is astronomical. But Hansama looking to finally take this tower down. Nice flash.
Oh yeah, he's going to get flashed on and finally goes for the late ult once again. And this time it looks like he might just get
Nossa!
Residual damage comes in.
Jogou muito o Weiwei. Cara, o Weiwei jogou clean, mano. Pô, aqui eu não vou nem julgar o Hansama, velho.
Hansama looking to finally take this tower down. Nice flash.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get flashed on and finally goes for the late ult once again. And this time it looks like he might just get out, but no, the residual damage.
Porra, mas como é que ele ia ter reflexo pra aquele flash ali, mano?
And that's gonna be the Rift Herald now immediately planted down for the side of WEIBO Gaming, although they're not going to support this push.
Love that play from Weiwei using Mickey as a means to get the execution onto Hansama. Mickey, he could have potentially given the shield to Hans, but he wanted to make sure that there was enough space between him and the jungler. But let's have a look at some could say fraudulent behavior from the Shy.
Yeah, I mean this is an argument that you could make that this actually ends up keeping G2 at bay long enough for this Dragon to go down. And I think ultimately that's the plan here. He doesn't want to die, of course, but he's just tanky enough to where he could buy time. Of course, they will lose Crisp on the backside of this as well. That gold lead is mounting, but at least they have that objective advantage. And you can see how desperate G2 are to get this mid turret because they don't have a lot of range. Finally, they have a wave here, but they're just not quite able to do it.
I mean, I will say, that's the second time now we've seen Hansama not really respecting his opponents there. We saw it in the bot lane getting ulted by Crisp. We see it again here with a great initiation from Weiwei. The gold is dead even. G2 do have the gold lead, but 3 dragons in the back pocket of WEIBO mean that I feel like in terms of map state, they're in a very confident position because now the Baron becomes a difficult thing to play around. Oh, you want to contest this for the 3rd Dragon? Well, maybe we just give it up in favor of securing a Baron for ourselves.
And Xiaohu having teleport is really important here coming into these upcoming objective fights because as we've seen before, WEIBO do love to flank using their teleports to get around G2's choke point control when they do have that prio, when they do have that vision set up here. You can see right now WEIBO having a ton of control over the Baron pit itself. 2.5 minutes to go on that next Dragon. Xiaohu, he's still sitting on 1 item, doesn't have that Nashor's Tooth just yet, so they don't have the damage to rush this down. They're gonna look elsewhere on the map.
O Yone ganha do caçante com esses itens, mano. Sem Last Whisper e sem Blade, o cara com 2 itens de armor. O boneco é roubado, mano. Eu tenho a impressão que ele ganha. O caçante é roubado também. Não, no caso agora não, porque o caçante tem 2 itens e ele tem 1, né? Tô falando os 2 com 2 itens. Ah, vou entregar de novo flipando Baron, mano. Para, vou entregar de novo flipando Baron, mano. É 50-50, cara. Sai disso.
As the buy threatening there, the ult comes out and Hansama is going to respect this one. Yike is getting pretty low in the pit though. G2 find themselves against the wall here as Weiwei is trying to threaten up to the Yoda. And the burst damage is there. They take out Broken Blade. And that might just be enough as Yike is left alone in the pit.
Mano, a G2 tem potencial de ganhar esse campeonato. De ganhar o Worlds, velho. Mas eles têm que parar de flipar esses Baron, mano. É o segundo jogo já que eles flipam o Baron. E eles jogaram só 2.
Oh, the throws in the pit. The throws in the pit. That is those two ultimates, Caps and Broken Blade, they're sitting on them. Caps uses it at the end. He is, of course, going to escape. It looks very likely to escape here. Yeah, he's going to get out, but I mean, those ultimates are what you need to turn, and that's the idea with this composition. You feel confident, you can start the Baron, you have that much control. You're looking to turn, but unfortunately,
isso aqui é, mano, flipar demais, velho. Eles estão bem no jogo, estavam na frente, estavam controlando o jogo.
Broken Blade and Yike think that they can either force him out or get a pick, but it's Light that's going to team up with Weiwei to actually
O melhor é quem tenta? Tá, mas tenta no treino, né, véi?
Meanwhile, you see Hansama taken out of the fight by the Shy, creating a 2 versus 1 situation and completely spinning up G2. I think their goal was to just get the TP out of the Shy, but it spent so long before he spent it.
Pela pressão do Soul Point, mas daí luta no Soul Point, né?
And now WEIBO Gaming looking for that Mountain Soul. We talked about those Dragon objectives so important. You know, despite the gold deficit that WEIBO had earlier on in the game, I mean, this is really going to be the most important fight right now because this is a Cassante with Mountain Soul. You cannot give that up.
Yeah, and already on this Red Bull Baron power play, about 4,000 gold already into the hands of WEIBO Gaming. And now look at G2, they're all in the river. They want to challenge this one. Hansama has the cleanse this time around, but now he is down that for the ensuing team fight. Let's see if WEIBO Gaming look for the turn, or if they...
Pior que o Leon é bom contra a Zai e Orianna, hein, mano? Bem jogada, né? Mano, o Baron, mano, no final das contas, a alma eles perderam de qualquer jeito, velho.
And now they are sitting on the throne of this game.
It's over, it's done. WEIBO just dismantled G2. They feel forced into this fight because of the soul. And G2, it was around the Baron again, but unlike D+, there is no window, there is no opportunity. And Crisp just makes it impossible for Hans to play. The engage from Yike does not come the way that they want it to.
Mano, deixar encher o saco do Caps, velho.
And while they do get that pick onto Crisp, WEIBO just tear G2 apart.
I mean, it's a divide and conquer, and even if the Rel ultimate hits, Caps is not close enough to really follow up. Hansama disconnected here after the fight is over. There's nothing he can do, and Leona is going to buy so much time, of course. Even if you kill her, the fight is lost in the interim. And like I was saying in the draft, it comes to be the case again, as that win probability powered by AWS is not looking so great for G2 now. You have to fight together, you have to all be on the same page, but you can't just give up a dragon. They didn't have prio, it was always going to be forced.
Yeah, definitely a rough position for them, and WEIBO Gaming, they were born in this kind of scrappy style of gameplay, and they are just going to...
No mundo em que esse jogo a gente não sabe o vencedor, aqui já foi.
Pretty interesting. I mean, Broken Blade, he's down here on the bottom side trying to get something done. We even have objective bounties in this game, something you don't often see, but it is that one-sided so far after the huge turnaround from WEIBO Gaming in the last couple of fights.
I mean, there's so many things to factor in. When we looked at how the early game played out, it was G2's bot side of the map that was
Azir forte, Kai'Sa forte, Cassante forte, vai forte. Olha lá, o EA tem mais farm que, mano, tem mais farm que o Yone. O Yone tá 13, a vai 15. 3 levels de diferença no jungle. Na jungle, 2 níveis de diferença no AD. Dois min tem Baron. É só eles irem pro Baron e dar engage. Acabou. Nossa, ainda tem alma de... alma roubada. O Caps nem Void Staff tem. Ele não tem o item de Magic Pen. Os caras com alma de montanha. A Zaya também não tem Last Whisper contra alma de montanha. Assim, por algum motivo o Caps tá fazendo chama ainda.
Much of a choice for them. We'll just have to wait and see how WEIBO Gaming are going to try to put the nail in the coffin on this one. We got Baron in about a minute 15.
Sério, na teoria, não tem como perder esse jogo.
And pretty early Elder Dragon that is going to be spawning just because of the 4 Drakes that have been picked up in pretty quick succession here by our LPL's 4th seed.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Baron is what WEIBO is waiting for, and you look at the minimap.
Era Void no lugar de chama, com toda certeza. O cara tem montanha, porra.
Which means that when they try to approach the river, they're not going to have those tools available. WEIBO already in a great map state. The resets have now come through.
Tá curioso pra saber o que acontece? Óbvio. Isso aqui é imperdível. Coloca a Kabum ano passado nessa situação que eles ganham esse jogo.
With no vision, no entry into this pit. I mean, you mentioned they were clearing some vision, but it's already replaced. And that was on their side of the map, not in the river, as you mentioned, not in these choke points. And Broken Blade down here, 2 levels behind the Shy, does finally have that Infinity Edge online. But it is just
falando, velho, ganha.
If you can't see, you can't fight. And that's the problem here for G2 approaching this Baron. 12 seconds to go. WEIBO, they get this, and it's going to guarantee them Elder if the game goes that long.
Well, the Infinity Edge is now finished for Broken Blade, so at the very least he does have a second major item. Caps now completed 3rd, level 16 for him.
They're trying to go for something here as just going to be Wombo combo. They finally found the engage, and they take down one of the most important members. That's a double kill now for G2. They find a miracle engage, and this is right when the
for him, Broken Blade, so at the very least he does have a second major item. Caps now completed 3rd, level 16 for him.
They're trying to go for something here as
Caps now completed 3rd, level 16 for him.
They're trying to go for something here as just going to be Wombo combo. They finally found the engage. For something here as
Caps now completed 3rd, level 16 for him.
They're trying to go for something here as just going to be Wombo combo. They finally found the engage, and they take down one of the most important members. That's a double kill now for G2. They find a miracle engage, and this is right when the Baron is spawning. G2, let's see what they do with this.
Calma, a Kai'Sa, o Caçante e a Vai ainda dão 3x5, mano. Os malucos tudo sem ult ainda? Easy.
Every single ultimate has been used from G2. They have to find a way to keep Wei out of the pit.
They gotta keep Wei out. They gotta keep the Shy off of their backs. This guy is like a juggernaut right now. Can you stop this Caçante? I'm not sure. As the Baron is gonna go the way of G2, but what about the ensuing fight? They get Caps on the top side of this one. He's the first to go down. Bit of an engage from Mickey X. A little bit. Hansama trying to hold his own.
A Kai'Sa ficou sem mana.
Will be able to hold on to it. G2 are turning this fight in their favor after they get the Baron. And WEIBO, it was looking potentially good with their tanky Caçante. Not looking so good anymore. The shutdown. Just one more going into the hands of Hansama. As Weiwei's still on the chase. Maybe just a bit of desperation. The rest of them are getting out as Yike might have to give his life for it. But man, G2 took a huge step in the right direction.
Ah, tá suave ainda. Apesar dos apesares, ainda tá suave. Eles continuam com o dragão de montanha. Zaya e Azir, Kai'Sa e Azir ainda estão fortes. Agora, mano, pega a almazinha.
After being dominated through the vast majority of this game, a sliver of hope has opened, and Hansama, what a clutch performance from him.
The pick onto Xiaohu is so massive, he's so much of WEIBO's damage here, and because it's Kai'Sa that he's with, and with this lethality into Nashor's tooth, the sustained damage isn't as strong with the Kai'Sa, so if Xiaohu is down, yeah, you have this tanky front line with the Shy, but it's not going to be enough to win you straight up fights. This fight, though, is likely going to be the one that decides the game. WEIBO Gaming rushing.
Mano, o Caps tem 0 Magic Pen, véi. É, não, 0 não, ele fez chama, mas tipo, A chama também não é tudo isso, né?
Everybody's here. They want to make this fight a bit different than what the Soul fight looks like, of course, where they got kind of pulled apart. They overextended in some of their engaged potential. We saw there the pick on the Xiaohu. It comes down to teamwork. It comes down to 5 members engaging in a wombo combo scenario.
Como exatamente eles ganham isso? O Azir bota os soldados, tem range pra porra, dá dano. Cara, que eu não entendi nada. Vamos frame por frame aqui. Tá, calma aí. Vamos diminuir a velocidade, mano. Foi difícil essa luta aqui. Tá, vai do engage aqui. Broken Blade tá aqui. O Azir entrou e ultou todo mundo. Nossa, o Azir tomou IK pras penas da Zaya, foi isso? Nossa, o Azir tomou ult da Orianna, véi. Xiaohu, você tá velho, mano. Tu entregou o jogo. Mano, pra que ele vai se matar? Ele tem uma frontline que, tipo assim, é um tanque de guerra, cara. A ult da Orianna e as penas da Zaya, ó, pegou os dois juntos, tá vendo? Eles combaram... Mano, foi 2 combos sinistros deles, mano. Um combo foi ult da Hell, ult do Rakan, ult do Yone, ult da Orianna. Agora foi ult da Orianna com as penas da Zaya. Caralho, velho. Nossa, ó, o Azir deu 5k de dano, mas morreu insta, que adianta? Mano, mas como é que o Deixai morreu tão rápido, velho? Mano, vocês viram o que o Deixai fez? O Deixai, ele ultou em cima da ult da Orianna e das penas da Zaya. Olha o Deixai. Foquem apenas o Deixai. Foquem apenas o Deixai. Ultou. Morreu. Vou falar aqui, tá? Vou falar. Solo lanes da WEIBO Gaming. Nada mais, nada menos que Deixai e fucking Xiaohu entregaram a porra do jogo. Ele perdeu vida, perdeu a resistência, entrou no combo combo e o Xiaohu se matou pra dar o insec e parecer bonito. Sendo que era só bater na frente, porque a frontline dele é muito mais forte. Não foi o Link essa fight? Não, foi ruindade mesmo, não se preocupa.
The Elder Pit, but they decide to go in, and we're going to go a little bit further back. Now, this was a really game-defining moment, though, because this pick was what allowed G2 to win the Baron fight and get control of the map to even have the opportunity to contest this. But blowing up Xiaohu means that you can see Light is trying to offer damage here, but it is so little. And ultimately, in this follow-up here, they just don't have the numbers they need here on the backside of this fight, and there's no damage, there's no follow-up. Caps goes low. He is taken out. Clear out vision in the pit, but Weiwei decides to go in trying to catch Hansama here, and the Wom exactly
So good, 17.
Agora tem game, mano. Agora realmente tem game. Quer dizer, não só tem game, como tão melhor. Olha o tamanho de Sione agora.
a minute 20 as you mentioned, but there's still so many turrets up here to break through. They can't threaten any inhibitors, so as long as WEIBO Gaming just group together here, they will sustain some damage, but it doesn't look like G2 is going to be able to end the game off of this alone. Despite getting a massive swing in gold as well, they're still just a little bit behind. You can see how crazy this game has been.
I mean, it's been just insanity. And at this point, G2, they're trying to get as much out of this Elder Drake push as possible.
Now, if you get a pick,
do it.
If you get a pick, I mean, you can end this game. WEIBO have to respect this and give this inhibitor up.
It's going to be pretty interesting to see how G2 can manage this. Still 40 seconds on the push. WEIBO, are you going to go for the pick? No, they just find Xiaohu in the front. He's just going to be taken up for free. And look at the knockup from Mickey. He just gets so much more in Hansama in that backline to Shy, trying to be the hero. But I don't think there's any heroes left on the side of WEIBO. They do clear the wave, though, and that is going to give them a chance here. Some extra time for the Elder buff to fall off. 20 seconds left here for G2.
Holy moly, they actually dived the Nexus towers to get that kill onto Xiaohu. They're looking to end the game right now.
I mean, Xiaohu, he's been picked again.
Here we go again. They get the knockup on the light. He's all alone. He gets taken out. That's going to be, I think, in his Weiwei. He's getting burned out 1 second on the Elder Drake buff, and they don't have quite a wave. They've got that one minion in the back as G2, they're trying to push on in, but respawns come out from WEIBO, and Broken Blade's got a shield. He's giving it a chance. Another stun comes out from Yike as Mickey doesn't get the knockup. This is just insane. As the Magnet Storm, is it enough for the side of G2? They say no, they're gonna back away.
Xiaohu's back.
Xiaohu, he respawns.
TP.
He's TPing. And they want to turn onto this one. Xiaohu gets the wombo, and the entirety of WEIBO's coming in. Meanwhile,
The TP.
in the base, they're TPing it out of this one. Caps, he wants to end the game right here. He wants to end it right now. He wants to take the 2-0 for G2. He doesn't have a health bar, though, and he's going to go down. WEIBO Gaming, they hold on to the base. Oh, my God.
My heart can't take this, guys.
This is too
My
insane.
heart cannot take
It was
this.
so close.
E depois eu tenho que ver gente no meu chat falando por que deram remake no Caçante. Que será?
And WEIBO still have 3 members alive.
They still have those members alive. Now Xiaohu used his teleport. I mean, this is going to be a long replay to break down, but critically here, WEIBO managing to clear the wave after Xiaohu's death. Once again, this all starts off with Xiaohu dying, which means a lot of that damage is removed. Kaisa just doesn't have the damage through, but it's the Shy who has to really force this.
Esse jogo,
but keeping the minions out here is what buys enough time, because WEIBO need to buy time for the Elder to go off. They need to keep these turrets up and then get Xiaohu's respawn. At this moment in time, it's 30 seconds until he's up, and they're able to pull off the defense of a lifetime here in order to pull it off.
Mano, o pior é que o dragão acabou bem na hora, né, véi? Ó, o dragão acabou no meio da treta, véi.
It times out, they make their last stand.
The stopwatches were absolutely insane. The Shy does so much great work on the back line.
Olha lá, o Caps não fez White Staff, não deu nem dano no The Shy, véi.
It's just an incredibly fine line to walk. The fact that both teams are playing on the edge, absolutely insane.
I mean, we knew this one was going to be crazy. I wasn't expecting this. This is like next level, man.
I mean,
WEIBO Gaming holding on, just barely clearing the waves. So important for them.
They stopped the teleport of Broken Blade as well. If he actually gets that teleport up, maybe he and Caps will have enough to burn the Nexus down. Nice deny there. He'll be able to pick up some kills on the back of it as well. Caps,
Pior que o Broken Blade matou 2 ainda, velho.
But that's all he can do. What an insane game. I mean, that defense on WEIBO was like a tightrope. You're riding a unicycle on a tightrope. That's how dangerous it was. That's how thin the margins were. And you can see G2 getting hyped. They're so close there in the coach's booth. But ultimately, WEIBO Gaming back in control of that.
Os caras já voltaram de Baron, velho.
Permanent, the Elder buff temporary. 30 seconds until another fight. I'm not going to say this was going to decide the game because you never know. Not with a series like this or game like this.
Well, the Baron,
Mano, pior que os caras têm Yone agora e os malucos não tem nada no Nexus, né? Ó o Caps tentando ir da GG. Nossa, ele foi gênio aqui, tá? Ai, fodeu. Morreu.
Caught out on the bottom side, he's got his teammates nearby, he is so tanky on the Rel, and the poke damage so far from WEIBO, not enough. Hansama trying to step forward, he gets hit, but immediately cleanses.
Caralho, o cleanse. Nossa, o Mickey não tancou.
Mickey isn't able to
Caralho, mano, calma. O que aconteceu? Foi muita coisa acontecendo, velho. Calma. O Ione escalou, né, velho? Eu vou ver o que o Broken Blade fez. Eu tava vendo o... Mano. Caralho, mas essa ult dele foi next level, não? Do Broken Blade? Que isso, mano? Será que foi intencional, véi? Ou ele só queria sair? Não, se ele quiser sair, ele só ia dar o E de volta. Foi intencional essa porra. Jogaço, mano. Caralho, mano. Assim, os dois times erraram muito, vamos falar a verdade. Mas ao mesmo tempo, mano, mecanicamente os caras são muito brabo, velho. Eu só quero ver a build aqui. Ele não... Ah, ele comprou isso aqui, pelo menos tinha Last Whisper, não tinha Last Whisper. Pô, mesmo assim eles ganharam, caralho. Jogaço, mano. Se eles forem campeão mundial, fi, isso aqui vai para os livros, hein?